Becky Hammon is going to make NBA history. It was reported yesterday that Hammon is going to interview for both the Orlando Magic as well as the Portland Trailblazers head coaching positions, and this is a name that's been thrown around for a couple years now as an up-and-coming NBA head coaching candidate. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you right now at the beginning of the video, this is going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be this offseason, the following, but at some point, Becky Hammon is going to be the first female head coach in NBA history. In this video, I'm going to tell you why, and we're going to talk about her story. So 7 years ago, Becky Hammon became the first full-time female assistant coach in the NBA when she was hired by the San Antonio Spurs, and quickly she's become one of the most well-respected assistant coaches in the entire league. She brings a ton of professional experience to the table as a player, as one of the greatest WNBA players of all time, and a ton of international experience as a player as well. And her name has been brought up a ton of times when it comes to women's basketball head coaching positions, including incredibly high-profile women's positions at the college level, but she has turned them down and repeatedly stated her goal to be the first female NBA head coach in league history. She's frequently been described by her peers as motivated, driven, and a really, really good NBA coach, and in my opinion, she's a fantastic candidate. And I even talked about this a couple of years ago. One of the first videos I ever made on this channel was about Becky Hammon, about the fact that I thought she was going to be an NBA head coach one day. I kind of thought that it was going to be as like some kind of succession plan there in San Antonio once Gregg Popovich retired, but now she's getting all these other interviews as well. And I firmly and strongly believe not only that this is going to happen, but that it's a really, really good idea. But the bottom line is the NBA is a results-driven business. These organizations, these teams, they want the best head coach they can. They want to bring in someone that's going to bring them a ton of success. And so naturally, there's going to be questions that come along with making such a historic hire. And people are going to question whether or not this is going to be something that's going to work. And I'm going to explain exactly why I think it will. And so some of the questions that are going to come along with this are going to be, are free agents going to want to sign there and play for a female coach? Are players going to respect her? Is she going to have a good enough understanding of the NBA game? And here's what I would say. This is the bottom line. Becky Hammon will succeed or fail in the NBA as a head coach once she eventually does get hired, based strictly off of her ability as a basketball coach. Now, will there be challenges along the way? Absolutely. That's the case with every single NBA head coach, especially first-time head coaches. Just ask Nate Bjorkgren, who just got fired by the Indiana Pacers after just one season. Ask Igor Kokoshkov. There are teams every year that fire a coach after just one season. There's going to be challenges that exist no matter what. But I think she's going to be fantastic, but you don't just have to take my word for it. Here's what Pau Gasol had to say. Quote, "I've played with some of the best players of this generation, and I've played under two of the sharpest minds in the history of sports in Phil Jackson and Gregg Popovich. And I'm telling you, Becky Hammon can coach. I'm not saying she can coach pretty well. I'm not saying she can coach enough to get by. I'm not saying she can coach almost at the level of the NBA's male coaches. I'm saying Becky Hammon can coach NBA basketball. Period." It's a pretty strong endorsement, but it doesn't stop there. Brad Stevens once said, quote, "Becky obviously is a terrific candidate for a head coaching position. I know what people think about her, and I know how well respected she is across the league by the players and the coaches." So if you want to get a professional opinion on how good Becky Hammon is as an NBA coach, I don't really think you can get much more glowing reviews than those two, and from two of the most well-respected figures in the league in Pau Gasol and then Brad Stevens as well from a coaching side. And so ultimately, NBA players are going to want two things from their head coach. They're going to want to be able to play well so that they can get paid, and they're going to want to win. And if Becky Hammon can help these NBA players do that, they're going to respect her. They're going to want to play for her. They're going to want to listen to her when she has things to say as a coach. I don't think that specific part of the job description changes in any way just because she's a female. I really, really don't. I think that we've reached this point in the NBA where the players respect the coaches and the players are willing to listen to the coaches. And as long as she is good at her job, which is what I said earlier, I'm not guaranteeing that she is going to succeed, but if she succeeds or she fails, it'll be strictly, in my opinion, as a result of her ability or her inability to be a really good NBA head coach. And based off of what other people are saying about her and the fact that she has been an assistant coach under Gregg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches in the league in in league history over the last couple of years, and he clearly thinks very highly of her. I don't know why we would question her. And so again, eventually, I think that she will get hired. I kind of thought it was going to be San Antonio. I thought that would be a really good situation for her to be in. It's an environment and a situation that she's familiar with, eventually taking over in San Antonio. Maybe that is what will end up happening, but there's one more wrinkle to this, because I know there are people watching this video thinking, okay, it's nice that you think that she's going to have the respect of the players, but will she actually? In 2015, Becky Hammon became the first female head coach of a Summer League team. And she led that Spurs Summer League team to a Summer League title. And you can talk about how much it actually matters if someone ends up winning a Summer League championship. But even just in that environment, and an environment in which players want to play incredibly well so that they can make an NBA team, and they're very motivated to play extremely well and potentially play an individual game, she got those guys to play well together. They don't have a ton of experience playing together, and they ended up winning a Summer League title. And the fact that she was a female did not seem to matter in any way to that team. Now, granted, trying to coach a Summer League team compared to trying to coach some of the biggest stars in the NBA is different. But all I would say is, if you're questioning this, I don't necessarily blame you. Anytime there's something that is on this level of history, people are going to question it. People are going to wonder, is this actually going to work? Every indication that if you look up people that have actually, played for her, or other people that are involved in the league, every indication is that she is an awesome coach, and she is someone that people really, really respect. And I don't know how my opinion could be different than that, having not interacted with her, having only had things to read about her. I'm going to trust the opinions of people that have interacted with her directly. They all are confident that it's going to work, and so I am too. Now, I'm not so naive to think that there aren't going to be issues potentially, and that it's going to be some kind of 100% success rate, but that's the case with every first-time head coach. And what I will say is, in the correct situation with a strong organization, I think Becky Hammon can be a fantastic coach. And as I said, I don't know if it's happening this offseason, the following, but I know it's happening. Becky Hammon will be the first NBA female head coach in league history, and I personally think she's going to do a fantastic job. I know that there are fan bases out there. It happens all the time. When I talk about coaches leaving or potential head coaching candidates, her name comes up all the time. There are fan bases out there that want Becky Hammon to be their head coach. It's still the Spurs. It's still an organization that commands respect, and Becky Hammon certainly commands respect. I fully respect this idea that she has, that she could be getting paid incredibly well and be an incredibly high profile women's head coach right now. She could decide tomorrow that she wants to be a women's head coach, and then she could go and coach and be one of the top most high profile coaches in the league. But she is committed to this goal of hers, and I fully respect it, and I think ultimately it will happen. My ideal scenario for her would be to just take over for Gregg Popovich once he does eventually retire. I'm glad that these other teams are interviewing her so that they can get an idea of how good of a coach I think she will eventually be. But an ideal situation, I think, for her would be to stay within an organization that is comfortable with her, that she is comfortable with. She already has a relationship with those players, and I think that would be a fantastic opportunity for her to be the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. Let me know down in the comment section below. I don't even know why I'm asking this. I know you guys are going to give me your opinions. Let me know down in the comment section below if you think this is going to work. Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think that Becky Hammon is going to be a good NBA head coach? I think she will. I think it's going to happen eventually. I think if she's put in the right situation, she will be fantastic. And again, people like Pau Gasol, Brad Stevens, who am I to question their opinion on who's going to be an NBA head coach? I think she's going to be awesome. And honestly, I can't wait. The fact that she's only interviewing for 2 of the head coaching positions at this moment, and there are, I believe, 4 or 5 other ones open, makes me hesitant to think that it's going to be happening soon, meaning this offseason. But I know, for example, there are Pacers fans out there that really want Becky Hammon to be their head coach. I'm sure there are Magic and Portland fans as well that would like for her to be their head coach. And we'll just have to see what ends up happening. But that is going to be the end of today's video. I thank you guys very much for watching. Once again, my name is Tucker. If you missed any of my previous videos, be sure to check out the boxes on screen. Leave a like rating on the video as well if you're enjoying it. And hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.